How's it, guys? Just a brief overview of what our vehicle looks like on the back end, on the pickup side of it, if you want to call it that. We currently have the old solar power pack or battery system permanently fixed next to the wheel arch, which I'm about to do a bit of an upgrade on, because as you can see, currently all the plugs and wires are kind of doing their own thing. Alright, so there's the current solar pack or charging pack or power pack or whatever you would like to call that. That's bolted down to the vehicle permanently. This inverter is something that I bought a couple of years ago for charging drone batteries on the go, which I think has been used, if it's been used more than 10 times in its lifetime, it's a lot. Don't know the brand, can't even remember the wattage. And there's the little solar PMW or PWM, sorry, bolt with modulation controller, solar controller, 30 amp controller. That's fairly straightforward, easy to use. It's just like an on-off button. There you can, okay, there it's off now, so you can clearly see, tells if it's receiving any solar or energy charging power. You can even scroll through the options as to see what the temperature is. It gives you the amperage overall, or average amps that's been absorbed, the average amps that's been used, and the current amps being used, which I reset. That's why all the figures show 0. Accidentally kind of reset them the other day, but obviously the main idea is to have more amps coming in than what's going out, in order to have a healthy battery system and battery life. So from what I can understand, this normal solar controllers, it's not the optimum system to have if you're running major circuits of your vehicle, or charging circuits or electrical equipment, but this works perfectly for us as we run a 60-liter Snowmaster dual compartment fridge when we go camping, and then obviously charge our camera and drone batteries from time to time. But it hardly happens that you charge everything at once. So and even if you do, I mean, we did charge everything at once at our Namibia trip. We used the inverter to charge the handheld radio batteries. We charged the GoPro battery on one of these USB slots here. At the time the fridge was running. What else was on? Yeah, well, everything that was or could be switched on was switched on, and the panels and controller and this whole system operated and handled everything perfectly. So for us, this is more than efficient, so no need to spend any unnecessary money on more electrical equipment and items, unless obviously you want to go overboard, in my opinion, because we're not going to use it. That's why I'm saying overboard. But if you wanted to install additional spotlights or nighttime lights or another fridge or whatever the case may be, then you would have to go to the MPPT solar controller, which can manage everything just so much better. So, but for us, the system is perfect. We're running 2 permanently fixed 100-watt solar panels on the roof, so that provides more than enough input power. Like I said, even if you switch on everything at once and use and charge everything that can be charged at once from the system, these 2 panels here handle the whole lot with quite a breeze. So also, once again, applies to what I said earlier. As long as your amps or power coming in is more than what's going out, your controller and your battery system shouldn't suffer any damage or malfunction. So that's our kit. Alright guys, to give you a quick rundown on the old system. When I started this, if you want to call it a project, I had some leftover aluminium square tubing, as you can see here, which I at the time had feeling that that should be turned into some kind of frame to hold down the battery, and also to make it easier to carry this guy around when you need to. So that was that. This was just like an old base or extension plate in order to lift up the battery as a whole, in order for the clamps to hold it down. And there's some cabling. There's the controller that I showed you earlier. And I just used normal press wood as a base, top mounted isolated structure on top of the battery, not to have any short circuits happening between the terminals and any metal objects. So that's basically what I used at the time. As if I remember correctly, my initial idea was something to the effect of that I'm going to build like a kind of a enclosure for the battery, which will also then at the same time be able to mount the controller as well as an inverter on top of it. But as you can see, it ended up completely different. The wire thickness I used at the time was completely overkill. The complete concept of this box are all gone now. I scrapped everything and upgraded it to a much more up-to-date and user-friendly unit. So there you have it, guys, the new battery pack, or solar power pack as I like to call it, in the back. As you can see, no more loose hanging wires or plugs or any confusion on what's happening at the back. Everything nicely bolted down, labeled, simple plug and play, and off you go onto your adventure, onto your journey, or onto your shoot that you need to do outdoors, in the field, off grid. You can charge whatever you like for as long as you like, as long as you have sunlight available. Should you wish to find out more about this product, please see the link to the demo video in the description below, as well as our email address should you wish to contact us. Alternatively, you can also direct message us on Instagram as well as Facebook. We can also supply with fold-up solar panels as well as solar panel blankets ranging from 105 to 220 watts, 10-meter extension cables, batteries, whether it's deep cycle, normal lead acid or lithium, mountable solar panel units ranging from 60 watts per panel up to 100 watts depending on what your requirements might be. We can fit various auxiliary options for you depending on what you want. This unit can also be bolted down permanently onto your vehicle, as with our situation, or you can keep it separate as a portable unit in order to use it back home in South Africa should you experience load shedding as a backup power source. Ideally, we'll make up kits for you that you can collect and you're ready to go, which will include the box itself, a battery, a proper suited solar panel size for you, as well as the extension cable. Solar ready power at your demand.